The website emailed them. If they were going to put a spam complaint up, it would have to be against the very site that they allowed replies on. And they will allow replies, a lot of them, because they don't want to lose sales. A lot of people might go to link, but they want to talk to somebody, so there's got to be a reply form in there. But there is no way to force you not to reply, because legally it's not spam. It's not at all. Never got hit for spam. Never going to get hit for spam and things like this. You can't. And so the reality check is, because somebody could do a Google search, land on the ad, and just stop and reply to the guy. There was no acceptance of terms or understanding what the rules were for usage on that site, but it's a free site. So I had a guy ask me, why doesn't the service shore it up? Why don't they put a username and a password on? Now, here's the next thing I want to teach you, because this is extremely important. I mean, it's not funny. This is extremely important. Here's what it is. When a big website like Backpage, okay, just to stick with the same name since y'all recognize it, because we do have video training on that stuff, but when a big website comes up with, and I mean that really is important, this whole thing here, when a big website comes up and allows you to make free posts all over the place, right? And you go post for free. Now, the website earns nothing for it. What do they earn from? I mean, why are they doing it? It's not just to have millions of people posting ads for free on their site. Why do they do it? They do it because as everyone posts ads, they put up different titles and stuff. And Google picks up on all these pages individually, and so shows them throughout Google. The more people come and post, the more different pages get indexed and visible in Google. Okay? Very important. Now, that means they get a lot more visitors. People who do a search for something on Google happen to see one of these pages appear for Backpage and click on it, and that is a page visit to their site. Very important, increased page visits. And so guess what that means? The site gets to sell advertiser space based on how many visitors they get per day. We get 1.5 million visitors per day. Have your ad show up in rotation on all these pages of our site, whatever it is. That is our model. Now, why? So when you're replying to posts on Backpage, and some of those guys are getting mad and they're claiming spam, or replying on any other site, that's the point. And some of those guys are getting mad and they want to claim spam. They can't do it legally, but they contact the service, the website, like Backpage, and they say, you know, I can't stand this. Do something about this. You know what Backpage will reply with? Or some other website. And again, I don't know because I'm not there, but I'll tell you that this is how the model, generally speaking, works. I'm not going to make any legal claims here. I'm not going to actually say what they're thinking. I'm going to say what I think they're thinking. That's why I've been doing this whole time. But here's the point. Here's what's happening. They're responding and saying, well, look into it. And they're not going to look into it, generally speaking. Most websites. Do you know why? Because you got to remember where their money is. It's from the advertiser space. They could easily block you out. If they put a username and pass requirement on the entire site, if you want to see any of their pages, you have to log in and therefore accept their terms and conditions. Why don't they do that? Because Google cannot index their pages because it can't log in first. It would have to log in first, and it can't do it, and it won't index their pages. It's not going to come up with a special deal with any of these companies. It stays out of the way, modus operandi, generally speaking anyway. And so the company, you know, the last thing Backpage or another website's going to do is shore up their own pages from being visible to Google, because that cuts down on their visitor traffic every day. All of a sudden they go from 1.5 million visitors a day to, who knows, 12,000. You can't sell advertiser space on that. Okay, and that is their money. That's their bread and butter. They don't care about you posting free ads. You could come or go. They don't give a darn what happens to you. That's not it, because you're doing nothing for them. Their interest is all those page visits, so they don't care who's spamming you. The only time they ever look into the issues isn't because people are complaining. It's because you've done something that is doing harm on their site. You're eating up all their bandwidth. You're clogging up their email servers, which usually takes lots and lots of people using the same software in the same way to do. Part of our core competency here, and that's the TFAN especially, is teaching you how to automate what you would do, and we give you everything except for the website. Now, for those of you who don't know, let me just point this out real fast. If you go to the TFAN video, which you can just go straight to for the video training series, And if you scroll down, go to the TFAN video. Then here's a breakdown of the TFAN. And then after that, you can get the TFAN tutorial. You can put in a name. You can put in a email, whatever it is. You can put in the code, whatever the code is, 3v3TKI, and you can go ahead and hit this button, and you will get a TFAN tutorial, which is that, the TFAN tutorial. When you open it, you can figure, this just takes you right back to the intro to understand what it's all about. But after that, you can click here to enter, and you can install the software, which has 21-day free trial, full access. You can read all of our training on Web Scraper Plus and how it works and go through this stuff. You won't be able to go through all of it, but enough of it to see how I teach and to see the kind of thing that the software can do and realize it's real, understand what the point is, and so forth. You can go to Web Macros, same thing. Okay, and you can see a number of the topics, not all of them, but you'll see enough to get you into the groove and realize if you're interested in the training I provide and all that kind of thing, that you can keep up with it, that this is the right kind of thing, and you can become a member of the forums and get into the forums and so on. And that's just getting the TFAN. Get the TFAN. And how do you do it? You buy these two pieces of software. If you do that, you qualify for the TFAN, period. Plain and simple. Buy these two pieces of software. You get full TFAN access. That's how we work it. Okay? Updates. Right? All that stuff, whatever. It's just there. Little things to know. Troubleshooting, video streaming, stuff like that. Some other things. Navigating the tutorial, right? Some people hit the back button and they wonder why they're going through all the chapters individually, and they say it takes forever to get to the front page again. Don't do that. Hit the home button. And it goes right to the front page. It's so much easier to get back to the beginning that way. Little things like that. All right. That's what's going on there. Now, let me kind of continue with some more. Because if you're still not convinced, let's talk about another beauty. This one is interesting. Guys will sell their services for backlinks. All right? Backlink services. And I don't know, I'll put something up about that one time or another. All right, guys will say, hey, we'll get you 5,000 backlinks for free. All right, now the first thing I already said, and they can probably automate a lot of that because demand is looking. Everybody wants to trade backlinks. Or, well, I won't say everybody. I'll say there's a big market out there that does. There's a chunk of people who do. They want to trade backlinks. You put a link to me, I'll put a link to you, or whatever the case may be. People say, I'll get you out there, I'll get you links. Maybe backlinks, but at least links. That way Google will see your links on all these people's sites, right? First fallacy is that if you're linked to in bad places, there's tons of bad places, link farms and stuff, then you're showing up in all the wrong places. It tears your rank down, and you wonder why it is you have so many links and they don't work. Second thing is, and this is a beauty, you'll love this, you'll find out that Google doesn't link or doesn't show all these stupid links in the first place. I don't know. You can go to Google. Now, if I want to look up a big company, let's say TireRack.com, okay? They sell tires and amazingly have as many as 24 million visitors a month who buy tires. At one point in time, they boasted putting a set of tires on 1 in 4 family cars across the USA. I got a question. How many backlinks do they have that Google counts? Here's the answer. The backlinks, how many backlinks do they have? Look up link : and then whatever website you want, just type it in that way. No HTTP, no www, just link : that is link ... TireRack.com or whatever else.com or whatever else.org or .net. So go. You're going to see 401 incoming links to TireRack. Now, if you ask TireRack, they put out a lot more than that. Here's the point. They put out a lot and see what Google picks up. Then they shave down what they don't like later. Okay? They got whole departments of people doing this stuff because they're just going nuts, whatever. But you can hire people to do it. Okay? Here's the point. Why, when they put all these links on all these other sites and only 401 show up here, if I try to argue with somebody in a forum about backlinks aren't always good, and they'll say backlinks are great and you need lots and lots and lots of them, and that's, they're not going to tell you what they do unless they do because they're trying to sell. But here's the point. When you say